Okay, cool, recording. Um, I'm going to go over the SierraChart Excel integration that is coming out as part of the beta 3 for this tool. Um, I'll dive right in and kind of show what the integration looks like for the chart. So far in beta 1 and beta 2, I've kind of focused on getting the DTC connection with Excel. And DTC meaning that all the data is really real-time data coming in through the DTC connection. So it's not related to a specific chart, right? So there's no real chart or bars or indicators, studies, and so on. It's just raw price data, time and sales, and market depth, and session, and so on. Doesn't require a chart open, and it's independent of that. In this version, we're going and creating a new add-in and deploying that. And in this add-in, it's chart-based, right? So we have to have a chart open. And the way this works is I'll set it up step by step. First, what I'll do is I go into the study settings, and I still have this from before, so I'll remove that. And then I would go to Add Custom Study, and we have a Trade 29 SierraChart Excel study, so I put that on the chart. And I need to set a key here, right? So the key can be any string that we want it to be, and we'll see in a moment why we need this. So I'm just going to set this to ES1, okay? It could be any string that I like, but I'll just set it to ES1 because that's easy. And I'll click OK and OK. That key is going to be used later to connect the Excel function with that specific chart, okay? So now that I'm in Excel and I have the add-in installed, I'll do equals.SierraCharts, and I can see that I have these two functions. Okay, so these are the two functions that are available as part of the beta 3. Okay, so now that we'll want to see what parameters these functions take. One good way to do this is if I go into Formula, Insert Function, and I scroll down here, I'll see the two functions, and I can click on this. So this tells me the parameters that I need. In this function, it takes a key, then the study ID, the subgraph number, bars back, meaning from where to start, and the number of rows that we want. And I think there's also a parameter here that we don't see. No, that's not going to help us. That tells us if we're going to print a date column or not. Okay, so let's fill this in. We'll start out with the key equals SierraChart get subgraph data ES1, and then the study ID. Okay, so in this case, let's initially just add a moving average. Moving average simple. Set this, I'll just leave it as 10. So we have the moving average on the chart. And the moving average has ID 2. Okay, so we need ID 2. And then the subgraph number is 1. Okay, so we add the subgraph number 1. We're going to start from row 0, which is the live row, and we'll plot 3 rows. And we are going to include a date and time column. Okay, so I click Enter. And now what I'm seeing here is basically, let's make this smaller so you can see these side by side. Okay, and you know what? We don't see the MA value. Let's look at the MA value in SierraCharts. Let's add a value label. Make this dark blue so you can see it better. Hit apply. There you go. Okay, so now we can see the MA value is what, 4506.27, and it's changing. So now that we're looking at Excel, we can see that the MA is on the last bar, the bar before it, and the bar before that. This is currently the 1103 bar, which is basically this one, the live bar. And the live value is going to get updated as we go along. Now, when a new bar is created, we'll see these shift, right? So 1104 will be the top bar, and 1103 will move one down. There we go, right? So now it shifts, and this gets updated. I can always add some more rows. Although there's a limitation on the number of rows that we can add a few more. So let's add 6. Okay, now we get a few more rows, and we can do whatever we want with this. Another thing I can do is if I don't want the time, right? Let's say I wanted to add another value here, and I don't need the time timestamp, right? Because it's the same timestamps. So let's go add another indicator. So I'll add here another moving average, let's say. So let's duplicate this, go to settings, add a longer one. Okay, so now we have 2 moving averages. The new one is going to be ID 3. Okay, so we have to access that. So let's add this here. Okay, so this will be our MA 10. This will be our MA 30, right? And this equals SierraChart. And we're on the same key. And ID 3, subgraph 1, start at row 0, and do us 6 rows. And in this case, we don't want the date and time, right? Column, just the numbers. Okay, so now we have both of them side by side with the 2 moving averages, like so. What else? Okay, so why the key? Let's say now that I want to add a second chart, right? So I would go into here. Let's open up a new one. ESU21 CME. Let's make this a 10-minute chart. Okay, so this one was a 1 minute. This is a 10-minute. Now we're going to add the moving averages again. Oops. Add 2 of them. Add the Excel study. So now, in order to access this chart, we need a new key, right? Because the key needs to be needs to be unique across our chart book, so Excel knows who to access. So I'll call this ES2. Okay, and then here, let's leave this as 10, but let's see the value and change this to blue, like I did before. Change this to 30. Subgraphs, blue, value, apply. Okay, so now we have 2 moving averages on a 10-minute chart. Okay, so we can always go down here. Okay, this will be our 10-minute chart. So equals subgraph data. It's easier actually to just copy this, right? Let's go here. Change this to ES2. Right, so now we're looking here at the 10-minute chart. How can I see that? Obviously, we can see that the bars are 10 minutes apart, right? As opposed to 1 minute here. And the value here is this is the faster MA. It's down here. Sorry, the slower MA. Is that the slower MA? Which one did I get here? ID2. What's ID2? ID2 in our case is this one. It's the slower MA actually. Yeah, the IDs are different. But you get the idea. So that's about it for now. Thanks. Bye.